What's going on, everybody? My name is Mario. This is the channel all about amusement park type stuff, but mostly coasters. And today we're at Kings Island for our second day, and hopefully it doesn't suck because weather bad, and hopefully not too bad, and hopefully stay open.
Let's talk about amusement parks, slide rides, it rides in the dark. Rides right here, it rides all over, but mostly coasters, mostly coasters. We'll talk about all kind of things, but mostly coasters.
And unfortunately for this very long coaster trip, there's a lot of projected bad weather, but we're gonna try and make the most of it. And the first ride that we're gonna hit up today that we didn't do yesterday is Backlot Stunt Coaster. This premier ride's launch coaster, family coaster, but it's really fun from my recollection, so I'm super excited to get back on it. Backlot Stunt Coaster was very, very fun. Starts off with a relatively punchy launch. That first helix is really forceful, and then there's some nice twists and turns along the way, including some in complete darkness. I had a lot of fun. Great ride for families, especially since it has a lower height requirement. Lots of fun. But next we're actually going to do a repeat attraction and do Diamondback, this time hopefully in the front, or at least towards the front, just to experience the ride a little bit differently than the back row ride that we got on it yesterday. And it's looking like there's pretty much no wait, so that'll be really fun. That was really fun. We sat in row 3, so not all the way up at the front, but it is definitely a different experience. You are definitely out of your seat longer for those really big hills, but in the back row, I think you get to experience more moments of airtime. So we did another re-ride, this time on Mystic Timbers, and we did it in the front row, and it was a way different experience. I think you hit some of those hills a little more aggressively. Granted, the ride was running a little bit slower than like towards the end of the day, but it was fantastic. I think I appreciate this ride a lot more than I did the first time I rode it. A lot of fun. I recommend trying both the front and the back though. They definitely offer different experiences. Next up, we're gonna hit up the Racer, which is a racing wooden coaster. But I've ridden one side of this, but not the other side. And while they are pretty much identical in the way that they ride, I think it's still kind of two coasters because it's two separate tracks. So for my inflated coaster count, this is a new coaster credit for me. So that'll be fun. Just kidding though. They're only running one side, so it's not the Racer, it's just the. So even though we didn't race, that was actually still insanely fun. I think they retracked this recently as well, so it was running so smooth, especially for such an old wooden coaster. Lots of floater airtime, especially on the beginning of the hill, since we were sitting in the front of the ride. If you're a younger kid and you don't want to ride something like the Beast yet, which is a little more intense, especially with that helix at the end, this is a great like in-betweener ride. There were plenty of kids on it having a blast. There were plenty of older guests on it having a great time. Great ride for everybody, I think. Super fun.
And then we hit the brake road, right? And it's like...
One thing I forgot to mention about Orion yesterday, they actually have a decent amount of theming around this area and in the queue line for Orion. But that's kind of a nice little touch to have, a little more than just a standalone roller coaster. But speaking of Orion, let's go ahead and ride that. Holy guacamole, it was pretty much a walk-on for Orion, so we waited one extra train for the front. Holy heck, there's just something about going like 90 plus miles per hour with wind blowing in your face and flying over airtime hills that it's just pretty hard to compete with that. It is more fun and windy in the front, but the back is more aggressive, I think is the best way I can put that. All in all, it's a fantastic ride wherever. I don't know, this is a top tier coaster. What do you think, Mr. Park Pros Drew?
Easily a top tier coaster. There's a lot of people that question whether this is the best ride in the park or even like in the top 3, and I'm just sitting here like, What you thinking?
I think I do have to agree. I do think this is probably my favorite ride in the park. And now we're gonna try some famous Kings Island blue ice cream. So I couldn't help myself. I have a little try of it already, and it's yummy. Yeah, it's like a very light flavor. It tastes like very light blue raspberry. But yeah, this is a staple of Kings Island. They even have a blue ice cream person in the parade that we saw last night. But as we finish up enjoying our blue ice cream, we're gonna enjoy a blue coaster now and go on Woodstock Express. It is for kids. Adults are allowed on it. And I've been on one of these before and it's still fun. So even though it's not meant for us, who says we can't still have fun on it, right? Woodstock Express is blue and fun. Great ride for kids. Obviously going to be a little tighter squeeze for adults, especially with the knees. But if it's a short line and you're not wasting space for kids, I recommend doing it because even though it's old and small, it's still a nice little classic wooden coaster. It's fun. Next, we're going to do Surf Dog, which looks like it's going to be fun. It's not a coaster in my eyes, but it's still something that's fun. Surf Dog was really good. Actually, the theming was so good that like we're getting really wet right now. Jokes aside, it was fun and we're going to grab food now. So it's lucky that we dipped into this restaurant when we did because it is a downpour now. We're eating at the Miami River Brewery, the relatively new eating place right next to Mystic Timbers, of course. I'm getting this BBLT. It comes with tater tots too, and the tater tots are really good. I stole one of Drew's straight out the gate, and this is included in the dining plan. It's kind of nice too. This restaurant is like kind of sit down-ish. You place your order at a kiosk, and then you get like a little vibrating puck, and then when your food is ready, they bring it to you. So it's kind of nice to have something that's a little slower paced. And they also have really fun Kings Island themed mixed drinks and beers as well. So now one of the only rides open in the park is the train, so we'll get some good views of the park and enjoy riding something. Now we're going on Boo Blasters on Boo Hill, which is a classic shooting dark ride where you shoot a little laser gun at targets. And the indoor of this place has a nice ambiance to it. It's not a lot, but it's a nice little touch, especially with air conditioning. What? What? It got spooky there at the end. There was like a pitch black room with like flashing skeletons, but it was super fun. Nice little shooting dark ride. Drew and I tied, so you know I'm a little disappointed that I didn't win. But that was really fun.
That would justify it.
Next, we're gonna hit up Flight of Fear, which is a fully enclosed indoor roller coaster. I'm looking forward to this positive G-force filled spaghetti bowl coaster. Let's do it.
Clear. Filler up, please.
Flight of Fear was really fun. It was cool being indoors the entire time, even just in the queue line because it was cold, and there was some neat theming as well. The ride being fully indoors was fun too, but I think I would have preferred if it was like entirely pitch black. Seeing the track broke the illusion of like being out in outer space or whatever. I don't know, is that nitpicky? Maybe, but overall it was really fun. We slammed into the brakes halfway through the ride and at the end of the ride, so that was not the most comfortable. But overall it was a positive experience. But now we're going on Orion. The only coaster that I haven't been on at this park is in Vertigo, and that seems to be down all day. So why not ride Orion? You know? But now it looks like our luck has finally turned and we will actually get on in Vertigo. Finally, last new coaster at the park for me. I'm excited and nervous. I know it might be a little shaky, but it'll definitely be intense. So let's see how it is. Okay, I think that was kind of the most intense ride in the park, for better or worse. I know my buddies didn't really enjoy it all that much, but I thought it was really fun. I've been on lots of Vekoma SLCs, and those shake you around like nothing else. This was really shaky and rough, but smoother than those, so I was able to enjoy it. It was so forceful, like my legs were going numb from the amount of positive G-forces. It was really intense and exciting, but if you can't handle intense, shaky attractions, don't go on it. If that is your thing, you're gonna like it a lot, because that was intense. Also, the way that you're seated facing each other was really interesting and unique, and I like that aspect of it, because watching Drew pooping his pants on the ride was really, really fun. But next we're actually gonna hit up the drop tower, because I have not been on one like this, so I'm super excited to see how fun it is. Holy heck, that was terrifying. I love drop towers. They're some of the only rides that really give me a pit in my stomach. And that one held us at the top for a very long time. I felt like I was anticipating the drop time and time again. And I felt like we fell so quickly. I felt like we fell fast and forever. Like there's other drop rides out there where like maybe you drop for longer, but you don't feel it as much. I feel like you feel this one a lot. And in turning on the way up was also really cool to get views. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Easily one of my favorite drop towers out there. Wow. So we're gonna hit up Banshee again because Banshee is fun. And Banshee... Dude, we did Banshee front row. The unobstructed view, there's so many points where you like dip down so low to the ground, and that's really exciting. You get a great sense of speed from that. It's more graceful and a little less forceful up front, but overall just more enjoyable, I think. And it's still incredibly forceful, don't get me wrong. All of the valleys you hit, your legs are being ripped off. That helix before the last little twist, it's so tight. I mean, my gosh, my blood was rushing to my feet. My feet are still a little tingly from it. That is just an incredible ride. Next up, we're gonna do another coaster that hangs under the track, because as Zach pointed out, all the rides in this corner of the park are inverted. We're gonna do bat. The exit for Banshee just like spits you out into the bat anyway, so might as well go where you're spat. So let's ride the bat. So we did a nice little front row ride on the bat. Definitely get a lot more swinging up there, but the pacing isn't that great, even though this ride is really well paced regardless. Like a lot of rides at this park are terrain coasters, and I don't think I've even mentioned like how good most of the rides are about like going out into the trees and having a great setting. And the bat is no exception to that. Great setting, great terrain, flying through the trees is super awesome, and you really get to appreciate that in the front row. All right, so after getting some good B-roll, hopefully, we're going to go on the Beast again, but this time in the daytime. It was really fun at night. We'll see if it's only good at night. It'll be fun either way. I like roller coasty. I ride roller coasty. I have fun. Now we sit and wait for rain to go bye-bye. Okay, we couldn't hack it. We had to get out of the Beast line. We were there for like half an hour. The clouds have gotten far more ominous, so it definitely does not seem like they'll be opening soon. And I'm hungry, so I wanted to get some food. So we went to this Tom and Chi grilled cheese place where we got some barbecue grilled cheese, which is also on the dining plan. Good dining plan options here. Oh man, that is yummy. Yum, yum, yum. So we're finally gonna do Beast not at night after waiting for 2 hours for weather to clear up. So Beast during the day with some wet wooden track. Still really fun, really shaky, surprisingly intense, mostly in the department of lateral G-forces throwing you to the side. A little bumpy, but overall really fun. Definitely not nearly as good as it is at night, so if you only have one opportunity to ride it, you should ride it at night, if you can. But still a fun time. I like roller coasty, I ride roller coasty, I have fun. All right, so we took advantage of the finally good weather and did a couple of great rides on Mystic Timbers. The ejector airtime on that first drop in the back row late in the day, you pop out of your seat like crazy. Flying out into the woods when it's darker is awesome. You're going over multiple rivers, you're flying over the train tracks, you're going in and out of tunnels. Just the wonkiness of the shaping of the track is beautifully designed. You feel just completely out of control. And then in very stark contrast to that, Diamondback was just peaceful and serene, especially with there being a little bit of sunset in the background. Now we're gonna probably end the day off with a ride or two on Orion at night. So we just did 2 night rides on Orion, one in the very back, one in the very front. But that was like one of the best experiences I've had on any coaster ever. Some of the parts of the ride have uplighting on them, so you have bright lights in your face, and then other parts are like completely pitch black with no lighting. For example, like that first drop, you dive into complete darkness after being on this brightly lit lift hill. So it is a just complete surprise when you're gonna get to the ground. And at night, it just physically feels so much faster. It's so freaking good. Everything that that I said about it during the day is just cranked up to the next level at night. But now we're gonna go ahead and finish off the day by watching that nighttime spectacular that we saw a glimpse of yesterday. Phenomenal. It was really great. I'm not a big spectacular person myself. I don't particularly care about like fireworks and the parades and those types of things. But this one was awesome. So many different things going on. A really great time and a fantastic way to cap off a fantastic day. But that's it for an incredibly long day. We spent 12 full hours here between waiting for rain to end and actually riding things. Thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead and like the video if you liked it. Subscribe and turn on notifications for more content like this. And until next time, I like roller coasty, I ride roller coasty, I have fun.